A season 4 The Magicians episode sees the show's main character, Quentin Coldwater, killed off. But why? Based on the eponymous trilogy by Lev Grossman, The Magicians had a lot of build-up going into the season 4 finale, which ends on a heart-wrenching note, as Quentin, also known as Q, sacrifices himself for his friends, a scene that is beautifully shot, replete with an acoustic rendering of Aha's Take on Me, which lends a special kind of somber melancholy to the show's narrative. The Magicians Season 4, Episode 13, No Better to Be Safe Than Sorry opens with Margot, Summer Bishal, Penny, Arjun Gupta, and Quentin, Jason Ralph, trapping the monster with the Incorporate Bond, cast with the aid of both hedge witches and magicians on Earth and Fillory. Alice, Olivia Dudley, along with Penny and Quentin, ventures into the mirror world to trap the twins, but their efforts are foiled by Everett, a member of the Order of the Library of the Netherlands. In order to save everyone involved, Quentin decides to sacrifice himself before managing to send both siblings into the scene. Following his death, Quentin is reunited in the underworld with Penny 40, who takes Q to his own funeral, wherein he experiences the meaningful gravity of his absence that weighs upon the lives of his friends. Long-standing The Magicians fans were disappointed with the turn of events, which, to an extent, is justifiable. Season 3 had offered a landmark moment between Quentin and Elliot, Hale Appleman, that touched upon genuine, romantic love. As the monster occupies Elliot's body for much of Season 4, The Magicians prevents the duo from exploring their relationship further, and with Quentin's death, the possibility is lost forever. Showrunner Henry Alonso Myers had explained the show's decision to kill Quentin, which is doubtlessly intertwined with his unresolved feeling toward Elliot and complicated history of mental health, saying that Quentin Coldwater was a tremendously important part of how the rest of the characters evolved via TV line, and his death has forced them to grow and look closer into their inner lives throughout The Magicians Season 5. Quentin's death highlights mental health issues, but betrays his arc. Moreover, Quentin's death sheds greater light on the mental health issues he was dealing with and the real tangible impact it had on the way he chose to practice magic and navigate the dual worlds of Earth and his childhood haven, Fillory. In one of the Season 4 The Magician ending scenes, Quentin Coldwater contemplates his decision, saying, "Did I do something brave to save my friends? Or did I finally find a way to kill myself?" The answer to the latter, as the showrunners insist, is a resounding no, as Quentin's true power lies in his efforts towards gradual recovery, despite batting the nonchalant cruelties of life, both in the realms of the magical and the mundane. However, with Q's death, the show handles these issues in ways that are irresponsible, to say the least, making the decision seem more like a shock tactic than a genuine, necessary resolution for a wonderfully complex character on The Magicians. How Quentin's death changed the source material and damaged the show. After killing off Quentin Coldwater in Season 4, The Magicians had few other places to go, and his death greatly marred the series. Though showrunners brought in Lev Grossman to consult on the series, the show has made major deviations from its source material, and not everything has been to the sci-fi show's benefit. There are some simple things that were changed, such as King Janet being changed to King Margot to avoid confusion between Jane, Julia, and Janet Plachinsky. However, there are other major characters and plotlines that were added to the series that weren't in the books at all. For example, Marina isn't a character in the books, she was tacked on to the TV show for no specific reason other than to bend the plot. In addition, Julia had no arc that included the Hedge Witch group. Ember and Ummer's appearances were changed completely for the show, as they are only entities in the novels, and Katie's character was also made up for the series. The ages of the characters are also completely different in the books, with the novels covering over a decade of Quentin's life. Quentin's survival was far from the only change to the source material. Quentin Coldwater's death in The Magicians is another major departure from Grossman's novels, as in the final book of the trilogy, The Magician's Land, Q returns to New York City with Alice, while Elliot and Janet, Margot, decide to stay behind as rulers of Fillory. Prior to the magician's conclusion in the book, Quentin, much like in the show, slays Ember and Umber, which imbues him with divine power to rebuild Fillory. At the end of the novel, Quentin uses a seed pod gifted to him by his best friend, Julia, to create a new magical realm, which inadvertently acts as a bridge between Earth and Fillory. In contrast, the season 4 finale comes off as disingenuous, as the implication is that death is a happy ending of sorts for a character so fiercely devoted to his craft and those around him. After all, people are more than their tragedies, pitfalls, and the manifestations of their worst fears, including ignominy and death.